again. This is Everard Junction, and this is another layout update. So over the last few weeks I've done a little bit of stuff. Over here hasn't changed too much. I'm still thinking about how I'm going to do the allotments. I need to get some more scenery as well. I've run out of quite a lot of the scenery supplies and bits and pieces. But I have made a start on the next area, which is this area here. Now this is basically a garage that restores classic cars. So you can see they've got like a little scrapyard out the back, full of cars waiting to be restored. And then over here there's a load of cars that are waiting to be sold that have been restored. So there's quite a few minis. There's a Triumph Vitesse over there, this little Frog Eye Sprite. There's an old Mercedes SL in there. And then over here there's just various vehicles that I've all sort of like weathered up and made them look all rusty, waiting to be looked at. And again, I've done the same muddy sort of track effect that I did over there in the allotments. Looks quite good. It's just done using polyfiller, and I've used a mixture of paint and weathering powders to sort of do the rest of it, and added in bits of overgrown foliage in places. We've also made a start on the road which runs up to the signal box. I've put some lighting in the signal box as well, but it's not working yet. I need to finish up doing all the wires. Then the road comes down here and it carries on, and it'll go across that corner piece that I've added in, and it'll just it'll go and stop over there somewhere with the TMD. And there's also a T-junction down here, so this is like the main road, and then sort of comes to an end and branches into either of the two sort of places of work for railway staff. I've added in some security fencing along the edge of the classic car place. Looks quite good. I've always liked the security fencing. This stuff is done by Bachmann, and it's part of their Scenecraft range, and it's really very good. I've got two little workshops there, and then this is another one of the Bachmann Scenecraft sort of garages. And you can open the doors and stuff. It's quite cool. Very nice. On the motorway, I've added in the central reservation. It's just a basic reservation. It's just made out of matchsticks. Looks pretty good. So this needs to be all weathered up. I need to do all the markings and stuff for that, and of course the grass on this side. But that looks alright. I've also made a new purchase. This is somewhat different to what I would normally get for the layout, but it's such a nice model. I couldn't resist getting it. It's just about to pop out of the tunnel now. It really is a fantastic model. As you can see, this is the Class 85 by Bachmann. I've also purchased a rake of coaches to go with it. These are the Bachmann Mark II coaches. The second class type, that's this one here, were recently re-released by Bachmann, so I bought 4 of those, and a brake and a first class to go with it. I think those coaches have already sold out of Hattons. They went very quickly, probably due to the high demand. The first and second class, well, the first class and the brake coaches have been available for a long time, but the second class ones haven't been made for a while. So to make the 85 fit in with the rest of the layout, what I'll be doing is towing it with a diesel locomotive. So most of the time you'll see it being towed as if the route it was working has come into difficulties, and the service has had to be diverted onto a line that doesn't have any electrification. It did happen in real life. Sometimes you will see a diesel locomotive towing an electric locomotive that's got a rake of carriages behind it, and that's because it's been diverted from the route that it was travelling on. The 85 is a very nice model. It's probably the best AC electric model that has ever been produced ready to run. It runs really smoothly, as you can see. It has cab lights and an illuminated corridor. The roof detail is superb, and the pantograph is very scale, unlike the Helgen 86, which looks a little clumsy. So yeah, it's a really nice model. Again, as being Bachmann, it's fairly reasonably priced. It's about £86, I think. Would have been a bit better if it was £85, seeing as it's a Class 85, but I paid £86 for it. It's got the standard 21-pin decoder socket, and it's really very good. I mean, Bachmann have gone out on a bit of a limb here, producing an AC electric loco. They're not generally as popular as the diesel stuff, because you need overhead wires in order for it to look realistic, but that's no reason to not buy it. It really is a fantastic model. I'm very pleased with it so far. I've moved a couple of trains as well, so we've got some slightly different routes working now. The HST is now on the outer, the 60's now moved onto the inner. Just a couple of changes. I change it around every now and again. You tend to sort of end up running the same trains on the same lines, so I thought I'd move it about a bit. I can also run the HST at slightly higher speeds on the outer curve. It looks pretty good. So if we move around, I've got a slight change of plan. I'm going to convert this area into the main loco storage area, just because they're closer to the main line, and they're a little bit more on display, so you can look at them all. So the DMUs will be kept down over here now in the depot area. So I'm going to redo the concrete, and the engine shed is going to go just over at the end. The problem with the engine shed being where it was when you were down at track level, you couldn't see what was running behind, so effectively this part of the layout was only that long, and it kind of spoilt things a little bit. So I've decided to redo a concrete area here with refueling points and so on for the DMUs, and then have a small engine shed over there, as these two lines I tended not to use too much, so I can put various engines along here instead. The large Loco 47 is running over here at the moment. I tend to switch this between the inner track and the outermost track that's running on now, because it's really easy. All you need to do is go across into the middle, and then just go across again, and then it's back onto the inner part of the track.